The second annual Dak Jam Music and Arts Festival is back in Minot, and tickets are on sale right now. The Unique to the Area Festival wants its guests to experience a bit of a throwback culture. Dak Jam creators say it's one of the few festivals in the world that mixes an urban festival with a camping festival. And on top of headline names, this event also mixes in a number of local and up-and-coming bands.
I think experiences are more important now than they ever have been before. Before the pandemic, experiences were getting to like their peak, and then we got it all taken away from us.
It was all good. I mean, great lineup. This is awesome for Minot. I don't remember there being any bad other than a few like, you know, I don't like this artist or this person, and it's all personal opinions too, you know. This was hard. I still can't really talk about it actually.
Those initial comments were kind of like, oh, I'm not paying for this. Oh, this is too expensive. And really, now looking at it, I'm like, okay, don't pay for it. Don't come. We don't want you there anyway. I'm sorry. In 5 years, you're probably going to be in the front cheering on your favorite artists.
Like, it was a weird energy because it was very exciting, but it was also very like, crap, this is real. Like, this is like a real thing that we're doing now. Like, we're no longer on this smaller scale. It is a big thing that we are doing, and we have no clue the actual response.
We experienced a lot this summer, and I'm like starting to do what I need to do, and I get called over, and it's like everything goes fuzzy.
Shred 'em.
Because Mike says, due to unforeseen circumstances, it's just not going to happen this year. There's nothing we can do. It's out of our hands. How do you say that? How do you say that when there's literally artists flying in at that moment? And they're now in the process of diverting their flights from Minot to wherever they need to go.
It was completely unexpected. I think I was just talking to a member of the Dak Pack actually right before it happened, and we were all excited, and this is what's happening. We had everything packed up. I think we were painting or something that day. We were literally just trying to get all the last minute details ready to go and out the door. And Mike was outside, and I had rolled up, and he's like, hey, we need to talk. And okay. And he's like, it's over. And I was like, what do you mean? What's over? And he's like, Dak Jam. And I'm like, what do you mean Dak Jam's over? And I'm part of the marketing team. I've been involved in public relations, community relations, alumni relations, both in the public, nonprofit, private sector. Most recently, I was teaching marketing at a university. Mike Miller, obviously, I'm connected with in many ways, and I just saw the vision of what he was trying to do in Minot, investing in the community here. You know, he was talking about like things that restaurants have problems doing, and I think marketing is something that restaurants just lack. So it was a discussion that we both had, and let's bring on a team for marketing. It's not out of the norm in other areas, but in this area, it's a bit not accepted yet.
I'm Mike Miller. I am the owner, executive producer, as Coach would say, of Dak Jam. I mean, I'm 42 years old now. I went to my first music festival, which would be We Fest in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, when I was 20 years old. And ever since I've been 20, this was what I was going to do on some sort of stage. After college, I got into the food and beverage world, traveled out to San Francisco, short stint to San Francisco, moved to Phoenix, Arizona, where I got into the more of the food and beverage and live event world and nightclub world, and then I moved back up here and I got into the restaurant world in Minot, North Dakota here, and started doing small parking lot concerts.
Dak Jam has always been a dream of Mike's, and I'm fully on board. I like music festivals. I think they're a great idea. Cool to bring it to this region. You know, that was always an exciting part of this. And this actually started out as a class project for one of my classes. You know, kind of how we're going to make this into a music festival and the marketing. And I felt just like a renewed passion, you know, with it too.
I was one of Tanya's students in a class called Integrated Marketing Communications, and it was a class of 11 people, and we got the option to either have one big group class project or a couple smaller ones, and the whole point of this class was to put on an event and, you know, like create a marketing plan for an event. And we all decided it'd be easier and way more fun if we did just a big group project. So that led to Tanya bringing in Mike, and Mike came and talked to us and said he has this idea for a music festival called Dak Jam, and the two bands were going to be Hairball and Pop Rocks. And other than that, though, that's all we knew about it. That's all he gave us. Other than that, he just said, figure it out. And so that took a week of the class having no clue where we were going, what to do. Tanya was trying to get us to independently figure out what we wanted to do. And I guess I impressed the both of them, and they had told us at the beginning of this project that if we, you know, did well, there was opportunity for internships, and they asked me if I would be their intern for the summer, and it was kind of a no-brainer because I was fairly invested into this because it was kind of like it was everyone's project, but I felt very personally connected to it. So this kind of was an opportunity that came from a class project that I am very personally and heavily invested in now. So
I was approached by some people who were in the Dak Pack, and they had told me this might be something that you would like to do. Check it out, see what it's all about. And I went that night and I checked out the website, just kind of read into it a little bit, looked at all the different things that they had done. I had obviously heard of Dak Jam beforehand just from social media and other people who had attended the 2019 Dak Jam. So I was like, why the heck not? I'm here. COVID-19's happening, so I'm gonna just do what I can while I'm here at home. So it was just kind of like an opportunity for me to do something fun while I'm here back in my hometown. So I applied for the Dak Pack. I got a text from Emily, and she had said, hey, you applied for the Dak Pack. We'd like to set up a meeting. So I came in for my first meeting, and it was just Emily and I, and she kind of gave me the down low on all things Dak Pack and Dak Jam. So this was like the first time I had gotten like any serious information on the actual event and what Dak Jam was. And then before I knew it, I was in the Dak Pack. So that was fun. I got to do photo shoots with Nutrition Addiction and Dak Jam. Got to meet some of the crew, which was fun. And then eventually I got a text from Emily when I was on a drive back to Georgia to get some of my stuff. And it just said, hey, we have a position on our team that we think you would be good for. So would you like to come in and sit down and have a meeting, chat about it, and see if it's a fit? And I was like, why the heck not? Why wouldn't I? So I said yes. And then when I got back to town, sat down with Emily and Tanya, had a nice little meeting. We kind of discussed different things, different ideas that I had running through my head, and just bounced ideas off of each other. And Donnie Decade was born that meeting, which was kind of cool. And then it was kind of like we can offer you this, and this amount of time is what you would be working. Do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah. And then the rest is history. What did you do before working at that?
Where to even begin with that? That's complicated. In my terms, basically, is that if I ever encounter another misogynistic man in my life that has to tell me what I need to do with my job without asking, I don't think I'll be at that job for very long. Thank you. I don't think I'll ever experience that here. It was seeing people involved in the organization. It was outside the organization, but I was just that girl that they could sweep underneath the rug. And they thought they have some sense of power, so they could trample over me. I don't know. It was grown men playing children's games at that point. Basically, it was condescending attitudes. They couldn't even bother to learn my name. My name is not Alex, it's Alexa. Amazon has literally capitalized on that name. I don't think you can get the name Alexa wrong. It's not Alex, it's Alexa. But you know, for a couple months, those misogynistic men called me Alex. Didn't even bother to learn what my position was. Didn't even bother to ask me what I do. And by the time I left the organization, they assumed I did nothing because they didn't ask for anything. So I learned to take whatever I'm good at and apply it to other opportunities and connections I made. So I went and talked with Tanya. I was like, this is serious. At this point, I just need a new job. She gave me several options, but she's like, let me talk to Mike. She's like, it's always been an objective to get you under BEPNAPs. So I walked in not knowing I had a job title, but here we don't really care what your job title is. We're all one team. No idea what I was going to do. But you know, we figured it out, and luckily we all have strengths where we have strengths, and we all figure out where we need to go in the next step, and we rely on one another. So basically, we experienced a lot this summer. So from me walking in knowing nothing I was going to do to the amount of stuff I did by the end of the summer, I can't even comprehend it.
Within the last hour or so, we've learned that the Glastonbury Festival has been cancelled for the second year in a row.
Bonnaroo I was not expecting this. I don't know if anybody was. For Bonnaroo to get canceled, literally just days. Bonnaroo was supposed to start tomorrow. Which is wild.
For the second year in a row, the music festival Coachella is being postponed.
Literally, like, it was, the finish line was right there. Every single one of us could see it.
Are they full of shit or are they not? Everybody's transparent now.
I mean, people were outraged.
And he's like, Dak Jam. And I'm like, what do you mean Dak Jam's over? Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
A breeding grounds for bullying.
You're being untruthful, you're scamming us, you're doing all this. Do what I did. Do what I did.